Hello guys, welcome to today's stream. I'm going to keep working on Edward Scissorhands over here, so hopefully we can finish him up today. I actually want to change his face quite a fair amount because I wanted him to look a little bit more, I guess, vulnerable and more like, you know, he's slightly scared but not completely. And I don't feel like I've quite achieved that. I feel like he actually looks very aggressive, which isn't really portraying his very vulnerable side. So yeah, I'd like to change his expression if I can. So we are going to do that. So first thing that I want to do is just slightly tweak the direction I went in with his eyes. So we'll start by completely redoing the eyes. I'm so happy I was able to stream today because I actually struggled to redo all my overlays last night, and yeah, it was a huge hassle because I had to rescale everything, and it took me a very long time. So I started up the stream just a couple of minutes ago. Everything was working fine, and then not, which was very weird. So I'm just going to pull up a couple of references again for this little guy. I'm still very happy with the direction I went in for all of his clothing. I feel like they came out so good. I'm trying to remember where I saw that really awesome reference, but I can't find it anymore. Maybe I've already gone past it. So I'm trying to get a good reference for his eyes. Hopefully, you know, if I can adjust his eyes and he looks a little bit more slightly scared, slightly tentative, that will be a huge help, and you know, he's going to look much better. Cannot believe I can't find that reference. Ah, there we go. Got it. So I'm going to try something else. So I think I'm going to make him look up, not look down. And I really want to emphasize this sort of, not triangular, but like when your eyes are going a little bit upwards, it shows more of a tentative, scared pose. So I'm going to try and do that. Hopefully it looks a little bit more like him. Also, because he doesn't have any eyebrows, it's actually proving to be quite difficult. You know, him not, you know, usually you can adjust the eyebrows and give a character so much more expression, but because he doesn't have any, it's incredibly hard, so I've needed to come up with something else, essentially. So I need to be very careful to keep them symmetrical. And right now, they aren't exactly the most symmetrical, but we can work on that. That is not the end of the world. So I'm just going to draw, not his actual eyebrow, but just the shadows for the eyebrow to sort of indicate where his brow line should be. Still feel something is a little bit offset with his face, and I'm not too sure what exactly that is, so we need to keep adjusting it until I find it. He really has a very hooded appearance. There we go. I always used to think of a pose that's from the front as a lot easier, but it's actually so much harder because of how symmetrical you need the character to be when you do that. Otherwise, it's going to be completely off, so it's not really that much easier. I'm definitely getting so much happier with his face. He's starting to look a lot more like the character. You know, he's vulnerable, and yeah, he's just got a much better expression, really. So it's done wonders. It really doesn't help working on the wrong angle to get this right either. So I'm going to try and just slant the paper a little bit until I get that just right. I had this problem with one of my other characters as well, where because she wasn't symmetrical, it just didn't, the whole piece didn't work and didn't flow. So it really is so important to try and get this just right at this stage. Otherwise, the whole piece is gonna fall apart. And I really don't want that. feel like my eraser has kind of become saturated as well, where it really cannot pick up much of my graphite anymore. So I'm gonna have to get a new one soon. Shaking Tugboat, you're back! Hello, how are you doing? So you may have noticed since yesterday how I changed his face up a fair bit. I don't know if you've been lurking and listening, but as I was saying, I really want to get him looking a little bit more vulnerable, if I can. Because I feel like that portrays his character in the movie so much better. So that's what we're trying to do today. Yeah, that is much, much better. Much more symmetrical, like the eyes are now aligned. The irises aren't just yet, so I might try and adjust the one on the right. There we go. So I'm really, really hoping I can finish this little guide today, because if I do, that'll give me a bunch new drawings that I can watercolor next week. So I'm currently waiting on some materials, unfortunately, which is why I haven't been able to do any watercolor of late. But once I get those materials, we should be all good. There we go. The other thing I really wanted to do as well is adjust the waves of some of his hair, because I really want them to try and drop in a slightly more organized way. Not entirely disorganized. Sorry, it's not entirely organized, but you know, just in a way that makes more sense, I guess. So now it's a little bit better. So I am going to go in with my blender and try and make this look a little more solid. in at least some areas. Still have so much work to do on these knives. Well, scissors. But we will get that. We will slowly work to that. Josie, thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing today? Thank you, my goodness. Let me do a shout out for you. Guys, you have got to check out Josie's stream. Josie from Target. Let us do a shout out for her. Guys, Josie was actually met us in the stream some time ago. I don't know if you guys remember her, but looks like she was doing a gaming stream, or this is an older clip. What were you doing, Josie? Please tell us. We would love to know. I hope you had a good stream. Do feel free to show us what you were working on. We would love to have a look. So welcome everyone. I am currently working on a little drawing of Edward Scissorhands actually. And I've wanted to draw him for a very long time, but I always put it off because some of these characters that I'm really into drawing, I don't know, I always tend to feel like there's so much pressure on making a success out of them that I always put it off until I feel like I'm going to do a really good job. So today was one of those days that I felt like just going for it, you know? You were doing a little bit of gaming. You hope my stream is going well. What were you playing? That sounds awesome. My stream is going very well, yes, other than having had so many technical issues to start up earlier. It's actually settled down quite well, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, we were having so many troubles. I feel like recently I've just had a ton of troubles in general with my streams, so hopefully this is the last we'll see, because I was adjusting a lot of things in Streamlabs last night, and if that's it, if that's all we've got to deal with, then hopefully we've seen the end of things. That would be amazing. So first success was we were able to show your raid message, which is one of the things that wasn't working before, so far things seem to be going really well. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, what game were you playing? Oh, Minecraft! And now you're going to do some art. That sounds awesome! Minecraft is such a creative game as well. I feel like everybody always says that artists should love it, but I just never got into it, you know? This is not really my thing. But I do know that a lot of people make really creative things on it, so, you know. It is definitely a great game. So what are you about to draw now? Do you already have something in mind? I feel like I need to get the hair around his head a lot darker, because he does have very strikingly dark hair. And because that's such an iconic feature of him, I really want to do a great job showing that, you know? Might actually switch up my pencils sometime soon. I usually prefer, when I work on the face, I like to use my my thinner lead. Like I'm currently using 0.07 lead, and I feel like, yeah, I don't know, when I'm working on smaller details, it just really helps to, you know, get into it and not lose too much detail while I'm going. But once I go on the full body and other areas, I like to switch to my other pencils because I feel like they give me a rougher appearance and I don't end up just doing this very rigid, detailed drawing, you know? Not that detail's bad, but you want to be able to retain as much of that artistic look if you can. You're doing a modern art interpretation of the Mona Lisa. You must go work on that now because you've been procrastinating. But have a great stream. Well, thank you, Josie. Thank you for sending your family our way. And I hope that that goes well. You need to make sure that you can distinctly see his gloves as well. He's such a cool character. I love the design they did with him. It is so unique. It crashes Necker's stream. Please don't. Please don't. Hello, Silverzed. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully we don't have an actual crash today because I am very sick of those. I would very much like to never see a crash again. So how's your day been? How have you been doing? I feel like I'm actually going to remove the strands of hair that go to the front because I feel like they're interfering with the look of the scars and they're making it harder to see those. So for the time being, he is not going to have those. Hopefully this also lets me add a beautiful border for the hairline, which should bring the whole piece together. I reckon the hairline needs to go down because one of the iconic things about Edward Scissorhands is these indents in his hairline. So I want to make sure that those are fairly obvious. You're just getting home from work. Oh, that's lovely. Relaxing in for an evening, you know? Sounds awesome. I hope I haven't gone too far with those. I feel like I might just receive them a little. Because I don't want him to look like a hairy werewolf either. So, whatever we do, gotta be careful of that. We're not trying to draw Wolverine. We're trying to draw, you know, Edward Scissorhands. A little bit different. I really love the girl that plays Wolverine's daughter. She's so cute. I love that movie. I know it's probably not one of the most popular ones, but I loved it. She was so adorable. And I love the part that he played with her as well. Might actually have to draw that girl. What was her name again? I don't remember. But yeah, I'm gonna have to draw Wolverine's daughter at some point. Because, you know, she's got some special attitude. And I love her. I will just be right back. Give me one more minute. Okay, so let us see what else I can do to him to make him look a little bit better. Really happy with the adjustments to his face. He looks so much better. Really, really happy to see that. I feel like once the eyes of a character work, everything just starts to come together. And it's just so beautiful to see, like, you know, you can't force the process. But making a good start on the face usually gets you halfway there. At least for me it's that way, it's always that way. I want to watch this movie again. It's been way too long. Okay, so I want to give him an adorable little chin as well. And then we're slowly going to blend the face. I always find it interesting how every artist has a different way of drawing a mouth, a nose, a face, and like you can try and emulate someone's style, but it doesn't really, you know, have the same feel as when that artist is doing it. It's so crazy. We all really do have our own individual styles. It's so true. What's the most evil or jerkish bird in nature? I don't know. I'm really tempted to say a parrot because I live with Zazu and he is a jerk. From the moment he wakes up till the moment he goes to bed, he is a jerk. Believe me. But yeah, that's a good question. I'm not too sure what would be the most jerkish animal. Most jerkish bird. But yeah, I reckon it either has to be, isn't it the cuckoo bird that sort of pretends that it's someone else's child and then actually takes away all the food from the other birds? I feel like that's probably another good contender to be the most jerkish bird of all, because, like, literally, they're not even adopted. They just, you know, invade another bird's nest and then steal all the food from the other birds that actually belong to those parents. Which is really, really rude. But that's what they do. But yeah, Zazu is definitely an up there contender because he will whinge about not being fed just because he wants to be fed something else. And, you know, he can throw things off the, throw his toys on the floor, expect you to pick it up. If you don't pick it up, he throws a tantrum. All kinds of different things. And he will test you, like he will do something bad just to see your reaction. just because it's funny. You know? They aren't a jerk, but you have a fear of vultures. How come you have a fear of vultures? They don't really do anything to humans. At least not that I know of. I'm pretty sure they're very human friendly. Like, as far as I know, they're actually afraid of people, so... I don't know if I wanted the hair to go over his ear like that. I feel like that's a little too distracting, so I might just remove that. And the other side as well. I don't think I've seen very many documentaries of vultures, to be honest. I don't know much about them. They're such an underrated creature. Like, I used to watch a ton of animal documentaries as a kid, and most of them were about African animals. There were always vultures in them, and you would always feel so bad for the lions because, you know, you watch the lions or even leopards and cheetahs going through all this trouble to try and get a meal for their cubs, and then the vultures just pack it. And you know, they can get a couple of vultures off the food, but it is so hard. You know, it's really a tough life out there for them. So, yeah, the vultures were always pretty annoying, but if you think about it, they have to eat too, and that is their way of eating, you know. They're scavengers, and they have chicks, and they have to feed them. So, as much as you feel bad for the lions, you have to realize vultures are just trying to stay alive. Just doing their thing. I mean, they definitely have their place in the circle of life. They do, yeah. They serve a great purpose. Like, you know, without them, imagine how messy everything would get, and yeah. I really love dung beetles. I don't know, I find them really interesting creatures. And they're so dedicated, like they roll this ball of dung for miles and miles, and they get it so round and circular. I think it's crazy cool. I wonder if Africa is the only country that really has dung beetles, or if they are actually present in other countries. I've never really checked. Alright, so I want a little bit of light on his lips, but his lips need to show that they are, you know, nice and dark. I don't think Australia actually has any vultures. At least not that I know of. Pretty sure vultures are only really present in the South Americas and Africa, but I might be wrong. I haven't exactly checked, so you don't know if it's true, but you've heard we know more about the surface of Mars than what's at the deepest part of our oceans. Oh my goodness, really? If that's true, that would be crazy. Because, I mean, Mars is so far away, like, surely, we'd at least study the depths of our oceans first. I find it so cool, like, everything that there is at the bottom of the ocean, is so interesting. And we still uncover new animals and species that we haven't seen before, it makes you wonder, like, what else is there to be found? It really is so cool. I don't think I would want to go on a mission to, find more of those creatures, because it's so far down and so dangerous to be in those deep places. It's really not for me, but I respect the people who do it. I guess somebody has to, and yeah, it's really cool that we can get to know what's down there. Yeah, I was looking at the other day, I was just looking up all kinds of different creatures that live, under the sea and like really down, really far down. And yeah, it was fascinating to see how many of them actually look different on the surface than they do when they're underwater, because their bodies aren't designed not to have that amount of water pressure pressing, essentially the amount of pressure down there sort of keeps their bodies intact. And once you take them out of those depths and bring them back to the surface, they don't look anything like they look down there. And so a lot of people used to look at the blobfish and they thought, it looks like a blobfish, this is what it looks like. But it doesn't actually look like that at all. It actually looks quite elegant when you really Google what it looks like. And it's so tragic to think that the pictures that we see are pictures of a blobfish after it's essentially vomited all its stomach, all its internal organs, and we go and we call it a blobfish because of that. That's not what it looks like at all, So it looks entirely different in its natural habitat. It's very, very cool. Same with a lot of octopuses as well. Like, once you take them out from the depths, yeah, you can't see what they really look like anymore. I wonder why they send more expeditions to Mars than, other places, like going to the ocean, exploring the oceans. Why is there so much more incentive to see what's on Mars? It's interesting. Like, I'm sure there's a reasoning behind it. I'm just wondering, like, what it is. You'd think understanding our planet would be number one, but yeah, it's crazy. I couldn't pay you to get on a sub. Well, same Kavasok. I don't think it is a nice place to be. It's freaky. It's a horrible way to die if something goes wrong. And yeah, I don't know. not enough incentive for me to be on one, I guess. I much prefer being on land. Would you say that you have a fear of water? Can't say that I specifically do. I think it's just, yeah, being on a sub just seems like a very dumb idea, right? Like a very unnatural thing. So, yeah, I'm not too keen. If you had to guess, it's about looking for potential planets we could live on. That does make sense, actually, yeah. And I suppose, you know, if you think about how much we're damaging the planet, it seems like a good way to spend our time and resources to find a replacement, but I don't know. Maybe someday, very far into the future, but I think right now that's a bit of an ask. Kind of messed up a lot of his scars, so we need to try and get a couple of them added back in. There we go. Yagimi, hello! Nice time to end the stream on It's a Horrible Way to Die. Good day to everyone. Yes, we are currently discussing the best way to die here, so if you'd like to point out some potential great ways to die, feel free to contribute. Hello, Roger, how are you doing? This is a controversial opinion, but you don't think we're hurting the planet. You think it will be here and thriving long after we're gone. You could say we're destroying ourselves, though. That's a good point, Cavasop. Yeah, we're... Like, obviously the planet might be going, and operate just fine, but livable organisms, at least, in the way that we live, are no longer going to be, we can't sustain our lifestyle on this planet if we keep going the way we do. But there are lots of different animals and creatures that are very capable of surviving crazy conditions. Like, have you guys ever seen lava snakes? Those are, sorry, not lava snakes, lava snails. Lava snails are ridiculous. They actually survive in boiling, like over boiling temperatures, and I don't know how they do it, but yeah, they just move about there. And they actually look like lava. Lightboard, hello, how are you? Back after a month break. Wow, well, I hope you enjoyed your break. You think anemia is the kindest way. Why would you say that? I don't know, I feel like just, bungee jumping and having something go wrong is probably the best way to go out, I feel like that's nice and quick and simple and probably works out quite well. I would say go for bungee jumping. Time to Google lava snails. Oh my goodness, guys. You have to see lava snails. Let me drop a good link, cause yeah. I don't know if they're called lava snails. Hang on, that didn't even type the full word. But yeah, hang on, this is the good pic. So basically, let me copy the link to that. There we go. That's a good pic of lava snails, guys. Skydiving without the parachute, you get a nice view before you go. Exactly, Roger. I mean, don't you want to enjoy the world one last moment before you go out? And hey, it's like instantaneous, right? Like, whereas being beheaded is probably not the greatest way to go out, because if you're beheaded, apparently you stay alive for, I think it's up to 30 or 60 seconds. Like, your head stays apparently conscious. I don't know, but that's what people say. So I don't think that's gonna be such a great feeling. Although, like, would you still be able to feel, or would you just be able to feel the beheaded bit? That's a good question, right? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I would say bungee jumping. Like, if you're looking for the best way to go out, make that go wrong. That or skydiving. Are there any details on my camera, goal, model, or etc.? Yes, and I don't remember. Hang on, let me load up Streamlabs. I think there was a command with everything. I use the Logitech StreamCam basically lightboard, so it's not a very fancy one. It's just a normal Logitech camera. So I'll have a look. I don't have a link to it, but I think I have a list of all my equipment. Just gotta remember what it was. Alright, here it is. So it's gear. So I use, yeah, two Logitech stream cams and a Blue Yeti mic. Edward is looking mucho bueno, thank you. Is it for looking down at my art or the camera looking at you? So both of those. I use the same camera for both. I'm currently in the process of upgrading my face camera because I am having a ridiculous amount of issues every time I stream. Basically what this camera does as a face cam is it overexposes your face. So if you're wearing too much black, if the room's too dark in the background, it spazzes out and basically, yeah, you can't get any proper exposure on your face. So I'm looking to save up currently for a proper camera, and hopefully then, you know, those issues will be behind me. But yeah, for the art camera, this works just fine. I like these cameras for art because they are very consistent with color, and that was one of the reasons I preferred them over the Logitech C920 and also over the Brio. The Brio has a nice wide lens, but you don't need that for art, you know? I don't even need that for my face cam. So I felt like, yeah, it's much more worthwhile for me to focus on something that's gonna give me proper color, because that's what my stream's about, right? It's about art. Beheaded? What did you walk into? Kishinobu, we're talking about the best way to die. Best way to go out. Hello, alien frog. How are you doing? I hope you're well. If the view is good, why not go for a decapitation? Well, as we were just saying, apparently if you get decapitated, your head still stays conscious for up to like 30 or 60 seconds, and I don't think that's gonna feel too good, you know? You don't know, the beheading sounds kind of cool now. You could finally see what your butt looks like to others before you go. That's a good point, Roger. Like, you can see yourself from a different perspective for the first time, right? Oh, you're meaning the goal that I have at the bottom of the stream. Ah, that goal. So that camera is the one I'm looking at getting for my face cam. And that one is the Sony a6000, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to get the default lens and go for this Sony a6000 because everything I've read, it has really good autofocus, and you know, it's got great color. It's a really great streaming camera. I don't need anything higher end than that, really. You know, like, I know there's later models, more recent models than that, but I don't feel like I have very specifically major needs, so probably won't go for that. But yeah, I just need something other than a webcam at this point, because every stream I have to spend like half an hour to 40 minutes or more just trying to get the cameras working. So it's really hard, especially because I wear a lot of black. Now that it's winter, you know, wearing black makes the camera go even more crazy because as soon as there's a lot of black in the picture, it decides to make your face go all ghost. And while that's really cool and creepy, I just don't feel like it looks great on stream, you know? So yeah, we've had a couple of issues with that, unfortunately. The best way to die is knowing you were loved and that you left a good impact on the world. Feels bad, man. Exactly. That is such great advice. Doesn't matter how you go out, right? You're doing good, had the best night of your life. You were watching basketball and your sons came out alive with a last second dunk for the win. I'm guessing you don't mean your sons as in your children. I'm guessing the sons mean something else. Like the name of the team? Well, I'm glad it was amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Everyone is loved at the least by bacteria that live in you, and that's one very special, and one's very special to them. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, not just in you, but in one. Sorry, once again. Not to get weird, right, you gimme. We're not getting weird at all. But yeah. I kind of saw this funny meme the other day. It was like, if you ever feel worthless, just remember your organs are worth a lot on the black market, you know? Don't feel worthless. But no, everybody's worth something, worth something very special, so. Especially to our bacteria, right? They would agree. No, I'm definitely much happier with his hair. Slowly getting there. Yeah, Phoenix Suns. Okay, got it. They are? Anyone needs an appendix? Exactly. They really are. But don't go selling your organs, please. Is there a way to sell the brain? Well, I'm not so sure you can function without your brain. But if you want to do a brain donation, you know, I'm sure there's somewhere you can do that. Alright. I think I'm fairly happy with his hair. I need to stop picking at everything, because I'm really making a lot of work for myself, but Yeah, I'm very, very happy with the direction of his hair. You got news for us all. You actually have the cure to human death in your basement. You can give it to us tomorrow. Well, we will all await your cure tomorrow, Alien Frog. Um, like, screw everybody who's looking for a coronavirus cure when you're sitting with it in your basement, right? One more question for anyone that may know. If donation is in US dollars, the conversions work okay to Australian dollars? Yeah, I think the donation goal I have is currently in US dollars anyway, so uh, that's probably something I have to think about then. Yeah, good point. I thought it was in Australian dollars, but it may actually be, or the goal might be in US dollars. So I could probably, if it is in US dollars, I'll lower the donation goal a bit because it's not going to be the full 1,000 US dollars. But yeah, it'd probably be close to that. You can only donate if your name is Abby Normal. Who exactly is Abby Normal? I'm guessing it's not a relation to Abby Shudo from NCIS. She definitely isn't very normal, that's for sure. The world is an unfair place. Exactly. It so is. What would my special hands be? Neckar, blank hands. What are you meaning, blank my special hands? Uh, you just recently found the final recipe the other day. To finish it, you got the exclusive. The final ingredient is Dorito dust. Oh my goodness, who would have ever thought Dorito dust could be the cure? Does this also mean the cure to eternal youth and wellness? Like we won't get old and sore and full of arthritis and just have to live? Like we will actually stay healthy? Is that what it also means, Alien Frog? He looks so clumsy, doesn't he, guys? Like, I feel like all of him just speaks clumsiness and you don't want to get near him. Yeah, he's pretty cute though. Like, your heart just wants to go out for him and help him. At least mine does. I really like him. He's just got those puppy dog eyes, doesn't he? Those totally cute puppy dog eyes. This makes you want to love him. Like if you had to pick up a special pair of hands, like scissor hands, what would they be? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess I think I would pick pencil hands. Like I would just literally pick pencil hands like these, right? I would love that cuz then I could art all day, right? Yeah. That would be my dream. But also, one hand for pencils and the other hand for brushes. Otherwise, I can't paint. And they would be like self-generating so they'd never get old and broken. Oh my goodness, Lightboard! Thank you so, so much for that donation. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, we are well on our way now. Damn, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that helps. Currently, I'm really trying to save up for some new watercolor paper, and it's gonna cost me $160, so I can't actually start my Humpty Dumpty storybook right now until I've got enough money saved from Twitch to purchase that. And on top of that, yeah, the camera's been giving me issues, so you really have no idea how much that is appreciated right now. Thank you so much. If you want to DM me after the stream, I would love to do a personal drawing or something for you as a way to say thank you. So if that is something that interests you, DM me with a concept and I would love to say thank you. So, and in worst case, you could use pencils as Asian food sticks. Exactly, Yagimi. They would double up, right? Like I could go. The only problem with that, right, Yagimi, is I cannot eat with chopsticks. So I feel like I'm gonna be a little bit clumsy like Edward over here. And I'm probably not going to, you know, do a great job at it. So... So how come everyone's calling Lightboard a goat? How about you, Kishnobi? What kind of hands would you pick? Alien Frog! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for paying forward the gift from Dover and, you know, gifting a sub to Lightboard. That is so, so sweet. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So Lightboard, don't forget to DM me after the stream if you're interested in me doing a drawing for you. I would love to be able to say thank you to, you know, to all your support. That would mean the world to me. So, let me know. Yeah, so I wasn't sure today whether I'd be able to stream because last night I spent probably 3 to 4 hours trying to get my overlays working because a lot of you guys who are here a lot will know that we have been consistently getting crashes on the stream. And it's just been, yeah, it's been ridiculous. I've told people when they raid that we cannot show their work on stream because it crashes my stream every time. And, you know, it feels bad because one of my favorite things used to be showing other people's work on my streams. I love doing that, you know? And we had to stop doing that because it would just, you know, repeatedly crash the streams every time. So last night I spent a couple of hours redoing all my overlays, trying to get things more lean, you know, making it less intense on the CPU, because recently I've had to upgrade my CPU as well, and that did fix a lot of the issues we had with the streams. Luckily, we don't get, you know, all the laggy streams anymore. I guess some of you guys will remember that we used to struggle so much. It was so laggy. So thankfully, because I've, you know, got the upgraded CPU, that is no longer a problem. But it was still causing the crashes, and that was strange to me. So I don't want to talk too quickly because, you know, that's what happened last time and the problem still wasn't fixed. But so far things are going really well. We managed to show off, you know, the raid screen and it didn't crash on us earlier, so that's really good. So I'm staying positive, I'm hopeful. Crossing fingers and hoping, you know, the stream's not just gonna choose a cool way to die on us. You know, we needed to stick around and that would be awesome if it could. I really, really love his armor. I feel like he just has the coolest outfit. It is so intricate and so detailed, but I just love it. I don't know why it's only got studs on the one side. That is strange. You just beat you to it. You were about to, but it said there was an error. Great minds think alike. It probably was an error because Alien Frog beat you to it. If your hands regenerated, you think you would go with Kishinobi's ramen hands. Okay. I don't get the whole thing about ramen. I've never tasted it, so I guess that's why. I guess I can't speak about, something that I haven't tasted before. But yeah, I haven't ever. It seems like it's just a soup and it doesn't look that appetizing at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I love soups, but I generally love soups that are like, a little bit more textured, like a creamy pumpkin soup where it's not just a soupy, watery soup. The only watery soups I really love are chicken soups. But yeah, I don't know. Ramen just doesn't seem like all the hype people make it out to be, and so I guess it makes me even more curious to try it because it's like, whoa, if it doesn't seem that appetizing and yet people rave about it so much, it has to be good, right? Yeah, I've never had ramen before. How do you unsubscribe? I am sorry for betraying you so deeply, Kishinobi. I am so sorry. But hey, I am open to it, right? I am open to it. You really like the puppy dog eyes on Edward. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like were you here? You were here yesterday, weren't you, Alien Frog? Like, I feel like the eyes we had yesterday, they were just way too aggressive and they didn't quite feel like they fit the vibe of the character because Edward is kind of vulnerable and I wanted to show that vulnerable side of him. So yeah, I just felt like it didn't quite work. You followed on Twitter and DMing as you realize it's 2 a.m. and you need a bit of sleep before work. Well, no worries. Thank you for following on Twitter as well. I do need to grow a bit on Twitter because I have only like 350 followers there. And generally Twitter is where I do my announcements. So yeah, it kind of sucks when, your following is not on the platform where you do your announcements. So yeah, need to change that. But anyways, thank you again so much, Lightboard, for that beautiful donation. It's gonna go such a long way to help my art and help my stream. So I really, really appreciate that. And yes, please DM me. I will get back to you and we can work something out. So really, really excited. I hope you have a good, wonderful night. Thank you again. I feel like this project is going to take a lot longer than I anticipated originally because like it is already 3:25 here and I haven't even done his hands, so I feel like that there's gonna be a lot more work to do on him. Truly a superstar, exactly. Alien Frog, I feel like when you say it like that, I don't know if it's just me, but it makes it sound kind of like a coma. Maybe it's just me. But yeah. I don't know, when I think of a peaceful sleep, I always think of someone passing away, It's like, does anybody alive have a peaceful sleep? Like adults? Do adults have peaceful sleeps? I don't know. I feel like our brains are so active. And, you know, we just think about so many things constantly. I am getting so confused how to do these scissor handles. It's driving me nuts. It kind of does. Yeah, it does. It does. I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain. Maybe we've had too many conversations about the way to go out, you know? Maybe that's all. I wonder what is the coolest piece of armor um, that I've ever seen in a movie. I don't know. There are so many different ones that are so cool. I'm really, really loving this one, to be honest. I feel like it's a very unique take on a piece of armor, and yeah, I really like it. That reminds you, you experienced sleep paralysis for the first time the other night. It was awful. Oh my gosh, really? You've never had that happen before? That is horrible. I hate that. Were you like still stuck in like a bad dream when you woke up, or were you just stuck? I've kind of read once about why that tends to happen, and it's a very interesting phenomenon. It's kind of got to do with apparently part of your brain shuts off because it prevents you from moving around too much when you're asleep. And so you actually are then unable to sleep until it switches that back on, and it's like, it's really interesting. You had sleep paralysis once, and you only found it a very interesting phenomenon. Yeah, it can be, Elasti. Yeah, I agree. As long as it's not a terrifying experience. Sleep paralysis is the scariest thing. Yeah, I feel like it can be. Like, depending on the dream you've had, yeah, it can be really horrible, but as long as it's not, you know, if it's just sleep like paralysis and, you know, you're not scared, it doesn't have that mental aspect combined, then it's really not that bad. Do you guys also get the thing where um you've just fallen asleep and you're not quite asleep yet, but then you feel like you're dropping and falling and you can't stop it? I don't know, but that happens to me quite a lot. But usually it only happens to me when when I just go to bed, like I'm not quite asleep just yet. I feel like that's when it generally happens for me. I'm not sure why. And it often happens when I'm fighting sleep. Like, I'm trying to stay awake, and yeah, for some reason, yeah, that happens, and I just feel like I'm falling all of a sudden. You used to get them when you slept on your back, and so you sleep on your stomach now. Oh, okay, that is interesting. Apparently it's not the healthiest for your face if you sleep on your stomach, because unless like you turn your head to the side, but I don't imagine that being the healthiest for your spine though. But yeah, apparently it's just not very healthy for your face. Sleeping like mushed into a pillow. I can't do that. I can't breathe if I sleep mushed into my pillow. You never experienced anything like it before. It only lasted about 30 seconds, but it freaked you out. You couldn't move your body and had only one eye open. You tried to speak, but only a muffle came out. That is awful. I will be right back, guys. My mum just came home, so I need to open the door for her. So be right back.